Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my little gardening show. We are in the midst of processing our tomatoes tonight. I've already done quite a few. This is kind of I think the last batch that we'll do tonight, and I've got some more to do tomorrow. Here's some of our whoppers that have come in. This is the Dallas Wilson Cuban tomatoes. This one came in at 2 pounds, 3.7 ounces, 2 pounds, 1 ounce. We got a Kellogg's breakfast that was pretty good. And a couple others. I'm actually going to save seeds from these, so I'm not going to process them. And I think this is a pink brandywine. All kinds of tomatoes here. We got our little turkey burner going. And I'm boiling some water. Use the garden hose to fill it up because it's a pretty big, that's the largest stoneware pot that Rural King sells. Got that a while back. So everything's kind of prepped. Just gonna wait for the water to come to a boil, and then we'll be plopping tomatoes in, and then once the skins start peeling away from them, I'll pull them out and put them on cookie sheets. You can put them in ice water. That kind of helps the skins come away. You can just leave them set. I'll probably just leave them set. Well, hey, Washington County News Station, Utah. How's it going? Appreciate you popping in. I don't think I've seen you before on the channel, but then again, I don't live stream a ton. That's cool. So I'm guessing you're in Utah, huh? Maybe I'll share my salsa recipe with you guys tonight. Guys and gal, whoever else is on. That's cool. How are things over in Utah? You guys get much rain? Is COVID-19 bad over there? Are things going halfway decent? Yeah, I tell you, our summer's not been too bad so far. It's actually been fairly decent. Though, we went a stint without any rain there towards the back half of July. And right when I was wanting to cure my onions, it just started pouring down. And so I was like, oh boy, I hope they don't rot in the field. But so far they've been good. 115, that's crazy. It's like in the 80s here. It's nice and cool in the morning. It's been like in the 60s in the morning. At least the last 2 mornings it's felt like upper 60s. Right now there's not a lot of breeze or anything, but it's pleasant out. It's probably like 75. Not a ton of humidity. But yeah, we're just chilling, man. Trying to process my tomatoes, get them going. I've got quite a bit of produce downstairs. I've got so much squash, it's not funny. Tigger melons, cucumbers. It's been quite the year for the curcubit patch, and I'm really surprised. The squash bugs, cucumber beetles, those kind of typical pests haven't taken anything out or really shown up that I've seen. Though here this last week, we did have some squash bugs. I think I had about 6 that I found. They were like mating. I was able to kill them. So maybe I got lucky and was able to kind of you know, head off the infestation before they got established or something, because I've not seen any more since killing those 6. You know, that they got smart and they're hiding from me. But it's really cool. I actually took a half day off work today to come home and deal with stuff at home, help my daughter with some things, get started on processing. Well, hey, Damaris, Love for Nature, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I think it's been a little while. I remember you liked a bunch of my videos initially, and then I hadn't seen you for a while. Appreciate that. Maybe I should make you a moderator on this. I don't even know how to do that. But things have been good. We're gardening season's been overall pretty good. It's actually not been as productive actually as other years. Things have looked nicer, and what I've gotten out of the garden's been pretty nice, but not as productive. Like even my tomato patch, I mean, I'm getting a lot out by virtue of the fact I've got like 60 plants out there. You know, so there's always something to pick. Oh, I gotcha. So you're a loyal follower then? I should check out your channel. I think it's been a while. I've been, obviously been pretty busy and stuff, but everybody's busy. I should just make some time and pop over there. So anyway, I took half day off work today to try to get a jump start on stuff. My coworker, every once in a while she pops in and checks out what we're doing. So Melissa, if you're watching, I really appreciate you coming in kind of last minute. It's better if like you plan days and time off and stuff, but we're pretty flexible. So even my boss, he was pretty cool with it as long as I could get somebody to cover for me. Most of my people, coworkers, work from home right now. So in order for me to get out early, she had to come in and work the back half of the day. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, you guys want to see my salsa recipe? You know what? I can totally relate. Let's pan the camera around. The tomatoes on our back deck, not doing so well. Mostly due to neglect. I just kind of like haven't been paying a lot of attention to them. We have gotten some cherries, but my peppers, we got some snack peppers coming on, but a lot of them just kind of bit the dust. I think they got overwatered and they dropped all their leaves. Oh well, lesson learned. This one's kind of like a hybrid, and it's done okay. It's kind of like got these almost Roma type tomatoes. We picked a few off there. And then here's my lettuce boxes. Yeah, I kind of neglected them. I need to plant some more lettuce seed. And then we got some other stuff growing real nice. So funny. So let's see how the water's doing. Oh ho ho, look at that. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to drop some tomatoes. So these we're going to save seeds from, so I'm not going to do anything with them tonight, but I just wanted you guys to see that. Well, I wouldn't give up just yet. There's actually a book, what is it, the Container Gardener's Bible or something. I actually have it, I just haven't read it. But I skimmed through it and it's got some pretty good tips and stuff. Before we start dropping tomatoes, I'll show you the salsa recipe. Oh my goodness. Now my printer kind of cut that off, but this is pretty much it. It's basically tomatoes, jalapenos to taste, cilantro, couple of onions, yellow. You could use white if you want. Lime juice. And then the seasoning is cumin, salt. I guess garlic's kind of like a seasoning. But basically what I do is I'll start out with the onions and the garlic, and I'll stir fry it, like basically saute it in a cast iron skillet. And I just, however many onions I feel like putting in there. Probably for this batch is going to be like 4 to 6 onions. And probably about a cup of garlic, minced garlic. I'll saute all that together and then yeah, it's good stuff. I've actually got a vat of it downstairs, and when I get done processing these, I'm going to combine it all, cook it down, and then we're going to try can it while it's hot. That, you know, just try and knock it all out at once. But it works real good. I'll saute all that together, throw that in the skillet, or throw that in a pan or pot. And then yeah, no, there's nothing better than like getting garden fresh tomatoes and onion. Like the onions are from my garden, the tomatoes are from my garden, the jalapenos normally would be from my garden, but this year they didn't do too well. I think we've got a mole or a vole in the garden. There's been all these little trails, and we've been trying to catch it. I got a miniature dachshund we've been bringing with us the last couple times to try to sniff it out, you know, and dig it up to kill it or whatever, but she hasn't found it yet. She's sniffed the trails, dug in a couple places, but hasn't caught anything. It's been real good though. So you said you used to did you used to live in a place where you had a lot of property where you could do like a bigger garden, not like a balcony garden? And where you moved now, and so you're doing kind of like a patio garden deal, is that the deal? Let's put this up on the tripod. It's tough not having a garden. I know my first year when we moved over here, the first year I didn't have a big garden. We tried to do some stuff in containers and it just wasn't a good year. I didn't make very many videos that year. Let's plug that in. Well, let's go get our tomatoes. Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think the times we're living in, like, families are going to probably be coming together. With your ex garden. We'll pop over here real quick. Oh, ex-boyfriend, that stinks. I'm sorry to hear that. Moving can be a traumatic experience for sure. Let's set this up. I will be right back. I'm gonna go. Well, thank you. We try to maintain it. I need to pressure wash it. Oh, okay. Where do you live at for it to be 2 a.m.? Are you like in the UK? Oh, Italy. That's neat. Well, hey, we should catch up again. You can pop by anytime you want. How about that? Well, have a great morning. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. All right, so let's get our tomatoes. We'll see you, Damaris. Let's open this up. Try not to burn myself here. It won't take very long for these to cook. Get that skin to start coming off. Pot full of tomatoes, look at that. A beautiful sight. Loving that. And we'll put our cookie sheet, I guess, nearby. Because we're going to be fishing those out here in the next probably 2 minutes or so. I'm going to go get my little strainer. Okay, we're all set. We'll just give that another minute or two. It's actually pretty fun. I don't know, I enjoy canning and processing stuff, just kind of hanging out, enjoying the evening or afternoon or whatever, sometimes morning. Right now the kids, they're old enough, they're kind of doing their own things, you know, not so interested in hanging out with old dad, right? So, but that's okay. Well, hey, John, are you still there? I'm just now getting caught up on the chat. That's cool. Hey, man. Appreciate you dropping by. It's been a while. We need to get the sales team to have another little dinner for all the channel reps. Maybe we can catch up in person. You know, you tuned in at a good time, man. I'm just kicking back. We were processing the last batch of kind of the big tomatoes for tonight. I'm getting ready to make some salsa. I've already got a vat of salsa that's made up, that's in the house. Actually, I made it up 2 days ago. It's been in the fridge. Just haven't had time to really process it. Was going to can it last night and then decide, you know what? Let's go ahead and get these tomatoes processed, peeled and all of that, and make them into salsa too. Yeah, it's hard to believe that that was 3 years ago. Or almost 3 years ago. That was kind of in the fall, wasn't it? Or was it towards the end of summer? I'm trying to remember when you guys came into town. Yeah. It's been interesting times. I know we're doing okay sales-wise. I mean, enough to stay afloat and pay the bills and stuff like that. And they paid out, I think, first half bonuses to the guys in the shop, so that was good. We'll check our tomatoes here real quick. Yeah, it's April, May. We'll see if the skins are starting to peel away. And they are. The riper the tomato, the faster this happens. Let's check this one. Some of these, yeah, it's got a crack there. I don't want to over cook these, otherwise I'll just end up with mush. Well, I cook them enough that I can work the skins off of them, and then what I'll do is put them in the food processor to kind of dice them up to the consistency I want. So we got a little bit of a chunky salsa going. This is a really cool tomato. This is called Ananas Noir. It's I think a French tomato. It means black pineapple. It's been pretty good. It's a pink Brandywine. That's another ananas. Got these real little tomatoes. I don't know what these, if they're Lincoln or they're not what I ordered though. Sometimes that happens. You get something in a seed catalog, it's not quite what you thought it would be. This is a terracotta tomato. It's got like an orange hue to it. I don't always core these before I blanch them like this, but I decided to core them this time just to make it a little easier on the back end. So John, do you have a garden? You do any kind of gardening? There's another really nice one. Probably go ahead and turn this gas off for now. Tell you, doing this outside is the way to go. Just so you don't heat up the inside of the house or make a big old mess inside. Plus, just dealing with like the sheer volume of everything, it's just easier to do it outside. Whoops, I lost a tomato. Yeah, food security is important for sure. We can save that tomato. All right, we're gonna let those tomatoes just chill out for a little bit. Oh, have mercy. Well, John, I'm curious. What do you think of all this COVID-19 stuff? Do you think it's just one of those things? Do you think it's a plandemic? There, I'm back. I lost the feed there for a little bit. Yeah, plandemic. Do you think this is you think the COVID-19 thing is just one of those things? Or do you think it was a plandemic where this is all intentional? I tell you, it's been a really divisive issue for sure. My daughters, they work at a healthcare facility, so they're following all the protocols, wearing the PPE, and they get tested every week. It's just part of out of an abundance of caution and stuff. Yeah, because nursing home, assisted living, elderly populations are the ones that are kind of hardest hit by all of this, the most susceptible, and they've had a few cases here in the county. Fortunately, we've not had anything at work yet that we're aware of. We've had people take time off because they had a fever, but just had them stay home for 72 hours before they came back. Interesting. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's really hard to discern the truth, right? I saw something. I don't know if it's Denzel Washington put this out. Um, I don't know, maybe not. But the gist of it is that one of the ways that society can be duped is that if you put so much information out there, um, people by nature are lazy and kind of tend to be apathetic. Um, they're not going to pay attention. Yeah, I mean, you think about how if you were going to take down a country or democracy or whatnot, take down an economy, how do you crash it? You can bankrupt it, right? Um, in two ways. One, by um, preventing people from working, and putting some hindrances there. But then all these unemployment benefits and things, you know, in rounds of stimulus monies. I mean, at some point the bill's going to come due, you know. And I know right now they're in talks of what they're going to do. I think they're going to extend the unemployment benefit, but there's a lot of people that are in kind of a precarious situation, you know, where they're either unemployed, underemployed, um, you know, and already behind on bills and stuff. At some point, if that assistance stops, or, you know, in conjunction with them lifting the moratorium on evictions and things like that, there's going to be a huge amount of people um, potentially not just unemployed but homeless, right? You know, when you got stuff like that happening, yeah, then you know, when you get that happening, you know, law and order can break down. You know, once law and order is broke down, you know, then you enter into like the whole martial law type stuff, and you got a big mess on your hands. So it will be very interesting to see how the fall goes, you know, and in winter, and how everything plays out. I mean, hopefully things turn around, and um, you know, things don't get worse. I mean, that's being like super optimistic. I think that things probably will get worse before they get better. Could be very interesting. So we'll hold that thought while I let the miniature dachshund in before she starts yapping. She has got this shrill bark that when she starts yapping, it really annoys the next door neighbor. Yeah, it's you can totally see, like, I mean, I can see where a lot of this playing together. Like, you know, you think about all this vaccine or virus testing and stuff like that. You think about like DNA harvesting. I mean, there's a lot of like, you know, conspiracy stuff that if you're into that sort of thing, that definitely it all looks kind of suspicious. Like it's a convenient way to harvest a massive amount of DNA from people, getting them voluntarily to come up to clinics and things like that and do these nasal swabs. And again, um, conspiracy, you know, taking that position. You hear the dog whining. Let's see if we can pan in on her. There's my little dog. She's very needy too. We give her victuals almost every night. But I should let her in real quick. I'll be right back. Come on, dog. I'll put you in the house. All right. Oh, have mercy. I shut the door so she can't cry and whine through the screen. Let my kids deal with her. Yeah, anyway, there's a lot of information out there. It's hard to know what to believe, know what to discern, um, all of that, you know, and who knows. We live in a pretty chaotic world, and it can be very overwhelming. You know, it can. I'm trying to think, I read some article about, you know, just all the anxiety that people are dealing with nowadays in a lot of kind of the situation, um, just how things are. I know for me personally, like, you know, if I didn't have my faith, um, you know, I don't know, it would be it'd be pretty scary indeed. I got a buddy, and he pops in on the channel every once in a while. A good friend, his name's Josh. He lives in Indiana, but he's actually part of this group called the Three Percenters. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, John. It's basically a militia group type deal. Yeah. So he is the 3%ers, 3%. And I guess he's kind of been elected or nominated for a higher rank or office in that group. I mean, they kind of practice, you know, prepping type stuff. Um, they do drills, you know, kind of like military type stuff, survivalist competitions, you know, kind of hone their survival skills, which is right up his alley. He's pretty he enjoys that stuff. Looks like the squirrels are having a little dispute over there. Huh, maybe that's a bird. Anyway, I've been corresponding with him some. He wants to send me a ham radio, which I know nothing about ham radio other than, like, you know, people kind of do it for fun, and um, there's these conventions all around where people get together and they set up, you know, their communications and all that. I mean, it sounds kind of interesting. So I'm probably going to research it some. I may even take the test to get my ham radio license certification and then play around with the ham radio a little bit. He wants me to get into it. Well, maybe I can get some pointers from you then. I got another prepper friend that lives in town. He does all my auto repair. He's real handy. His name's Tom. He pops on the channel too. We're kind of buddies and stuff, and he's got a ham radio. And the whole premise, yeah, at least where my buddy's coming from, he's like, you know, if stuff hits the fan, you know, I need a way to get a hold of you. Because he says, you know, I'm coming to get you. So anyway, I'll probably study up on that and see what I can do on getting certified so he can send me that, maybe set it up. And maybe be able to talk with him over the ham radio, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, and actually, buddy at work, Jeff, his name's Jeff. He's our IT dude. He's into ham radio. He goes to Hamvention every year, and it's kind of techie. Yeah, we could. Another app I've been using here recently is not. It's called what is it? Marco Polo is a pretty neat app. It's basically like video walkie-talkie. Man, that bird is loud. I thought it was a squirrel at first, but it's actually a bird. Let's see if we can find that little bird. Oh, it just flew away. It was down there on the stair. It's down there on the gate now. Maybe it's used to being out here. I'm normally not out here cooking tomatoes. They're still kind of warm, but they're can work with those now. See how easy the skin just comes right off of that. So I think here in a bit I'll take those inside and we'll start working through those tomatoes and get them processed, and then cook my onions and garlic. I showed Damaris my salsa recipe. I don't know if you were here or you caught that, but I'll zoom in again. It's pretty basic but really good. It's basically tomatoes, jalapenos to taste, cilantro, lime, yellow onions, garlic, olive oil. And then the seasoning is just kosher salt and cumin to taste. And that just makes a really good, it's got good flavor, good seasoning. The key though is you don't add the seasoning until you've cooked it down to your desired consistency. So look at this little bird, persistent little thing. You know what? I wonder if it's got a nest in that fern. It just flew up into that fern up there. You see it rooting around? That's so funny. I bet that little bird's got a nest in that fern. I digress. I got distracted. Anyway, the key is you don't season it till you've cooked it down to the desired consistency. One year I made that mistake. I made a batch of salsa and seasoned it to taste. It was tasting real good, and then decided, well, I'm gonna can this stuff. So I cooked it down a little bit further or whatnot, and it ended up being way too salty. So I ended up actually having to add water back into it to get it back to where it was to begin with. So since then, it's kind of learned don't season it till it's where you want it, and then add your cumin and your salt, to go from there with it. So anyway, I should get probably about I'm thinking probably about 15 pints tonight between what I've got there and what's down in the basement. the vat there. Maybe worst case scenario would be 12, but I'm thinking probably about 15. So we'll go ahead and get that going. What I'll probably do is jump off here so I can get all that kind of going, and then maybe jump on later tonight once everything's finished. So anyway, it's been good chatting with you, John. I'll have to catch you either later on or who knows, maybe I'll jump on here tomorrow, make some videos this weekend, and kind of go from there. So anyway, I guess that's it for now. We'll catch y'all later. Till next time. Happy gardening. Bye.